All right. I'm going to share with you my story of how I went from a truck driver to wanting to trade full time to pursuing my dream and quitting my job and trading full time. And then having that dream turn into a nightmare and me going into over $100,000 in debt, trying to pay for this, and the dark days that went through there, and then how I pulled myself out of that hole and how I am a millionaire to this day. So it started out with back in Arizona, over 10 years ago, I was running a trucking company for my family, and I was basically a truck driver. That's all I did. So my day would start at around 1 a.m. and I would work until I'd drive a truck until like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, pretty much every day. This is Sunday through Sunday. And after that is when my normal job would start, and I go back and work at the office, and I would get done with that from at like 4 or 5 p.m. And then the day would just start again. I'd go home, see my wife for an hour, go to bed, and wake back up at 1 a.m. to do it all over again. And I just was absolutely tortured by this. Like, I remember waking up every single day, sitting on the edge of my bed at 1 a.m. and just feeling like can I do anything but this? It took everything in me to get out of bed to go to work. I was the most depressed I've ever been. I gained a whole bunch of weight. I had no purpose, and I just felt like this just wasn't for me. I was meant for something bigger than this in my life. I then came across trading a little bit more, and I started to dive into this. And I guess, just fell in love with trading and started just consume every podcast, every YouTube video that I could listen to while I was driving. And that's all I'd do all day long was just drive a truck and listen to all these trading podcasts. And I was like, I want to do this for a living someday. And I felt so drawn to this. Like, I need to quit my job and trade full time. And so I brought it up with my wife, and she was like, done, let's do this thing. So I quit my job, we sold everything, and we moved to Utah. And we started trading full time. So I think we had like a $30,000 trading account, and we had some money set aside for like a rainy day. And we just bought a house, and we're like, I feel like God's telling me to do this. We're going to be millionaires in like a month, right? Like, how could this not work? We felt so strongly that God was pulling us in this direction. And so I remember my first day waking up and like getting out of bed and sitting on the edge of my bed and being like, I am a full-time trader. I'm not waking up at 1 a.m. to go do something that I hate. I get to wake up right now and do something that I love. I went downstairs, turned on the computer, and that's where the dream stopped. Things started to turn into a nightmare. I started losing money pretty significantly. And I knew how to trade. The difference was I now had to make money. Like, I had to make $5,000 by the end of the month, whereas trading was never that pressure. I didn't know how to handle that. And so I started forcing trades because I had to make money, and I started to steamroll. And I was down a few $1,000s at the end of the first week, and I was like, okay, well, now I've got to make $7,000 up. And it just kept steamrolling back. I blew up that entire $30,000 trading account in the first month. And that's when the stress really started to hit. I stopped sleeping. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. And so I was like, Allie, we got to pay this. Allie's my wife. I was like, we've got to take more money out of this, out of our savings, and put it into trading so I can make money, right? I'll be able to make money with this money. And so we pull our savings out, and I put that into a trading account. That money was gone in about another month. Blew through it. The same process that happened to that. And so I'm like, okay, well, we are going to go, take out some loans. And so we had really good credit. We went and took out some loans, and that money was gone in a matter of weeks. And so a few months in, we are basically down to nothing. I take one of these credit cards and I start paying our mortgage with it to keep us alive. And it was rough. It was the hardest thing we have ever gone through in our entire life. It was the lowest I've ever been. This dream, this like greatest job that I could ever imagine was just literally the worst nightmare ever. This was not how it's supposed to go. And I remember sitting there like questioning God, like, God, you told me to do this. Like, why is it all falling apart? And it wasn't supposed to be this way. And somehow, some way, we just chose to keep trusting. We could have easily just been like, you know what, screw this. Like, God doesn't exist. He's this. He told us to do this. Like, we felt so prompted to do this to the point where we dropped everything in our life to do this. And we could have just thrown them off to the wayside, but we didn't. We just kept trusting. And we're like, okay, well, something inside me would just say, get up and go find a way. And I remember taking out another loan and like literally burning through that cash from that loan in a very, like within a week or two. And again, I'm just laying on my back in bed. It was just like mid-morning, early afternoon, and just like tears in my eyes. Like everything I touched would just evaporate. And I just remember being like, there's no more money. Like this is it. And this voice inside my head, like this feeling in my gut would be like, get up and go find a way. And I'm like, how? Like there is no way. There's no more money. Like I've burned through, like I've ruined my one shot of trading full time. You know, like I feel like an idiot. All my family told me not to go. They told me not to do this. They told me that I would just lose everything if I quit my job and would trade full time. And that's exactly what's happened. And I was low, I was so low. And that feeling would just come right back, almost like mocking me, like get up and go find a way. And I would fight against it, literally like yelling like to God, being like, there is no other way, God. Like this is it. Like we are financially ruined. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how I'm going to pay my mortgage in 2 weeks. And get up and go find a way. That voice just kept coming back. And so I sat up on the edge of the bed and I was like, okay, I'll go find a way. I went back to the bank and I opened up 2 credit cards. And literally, I remember the banker being like, Tony, I don't know what you're doing, but this is it. This is all you get. This is all you have. And so I came home and I sat down and I was like, I've got to do things different than what I've been doing for the last few months. I've got to act like this has to work. This is my last shot. I cashed out those credit cards. I think it was like 25% interest rate when the interest rates were like 2%. I mean, ridiculous amount of money on the interest rate. And I already have all these other loans and everything else that I've already lost in trading too. And I don't recommend going this route, my friends. Don't do what I did. This is my story though. And I had these last 2 credit cards. I cashed them out. I think it put like 15 grand in my trading account. That's what I had to work with. And so I literally just sat down. I don't know what made me do this, but I sat down and I just started writing out all of my problems, like literally pen to paper. What are my problems? What do I need and what's holding me back from getting this? I was like, I need a consistent income. I need $1,500 a week to pay my bills. I need this, and I only have a $15,000 trading account to do it with. Like that is just impossible to get that kind of return, right? It's gonna be hard. And so I started writing things out and just writing things out. And I just spent hours just writing down on a piece of paper, like my problems. And I was like, every problem has a solution. I've got to find my solution. I have to make this work. I was like, there is no plan B. Like I don't have another job lined up. I didn't have, like, there's no plan B. Like this has to work. And so I started writing it out and all of a sudden credit spreads came into my mind. Credit spreads is a strategy that has an extremely high win rate. And I was like, credit spreads would give me consistent income. The problem is like, I would need like an $80,000 trading account to get paid the amount of money that I need in a week. So then I'm like, well, how can I work my way around that? And I started just writing this thing out and just solving more and more problems. And it led me down this path of a new credit spread strategy that I'd never thought of before. And I was like, this might work. And I started back testing. And all weekend long, I just spent the entire weekend back testing and just trying out the strategy and doing this here. And I'm like, what's the downsides of credit spreads? The downside is you lose one time and it offsets so much wins if you just lose one time. Well, how can I offset that? How can I mitigate that risk so it only undoes a couple losses instead of like a month's worth of losses? And I just figured out the strategy. After back testing it nonstop, like I didn't leave my computer for days, it felt like. I back tested it, getting myself ready for Monday. I had bills due like that Friday. And I was like, this thing works. Let's put it to the test. And so that Monday came along and I did it. And that was the first week I paid my bills as a full-time trader. And by the way, that strategy, I give away 100% for free. The entire strategy, links are down below in the description. It changed my life. That opened up a door to financial success in trading. I now had something where I no longer had to be perfectly correct. I could be completely wrong and still make money actually with this strategy. And so I start building on the strategy and I start doing it and we finally start paying our bills and we start to turn a corner and we start to get out of debt some and we start to get ahead. And then I would make a dumb mistake and kind of take it, a couple steps backwards. And I was like, okay, I got to learn from that. But something changed. I no longer beat myself up over mistakes. And I started to have even more confidence in my ability to do this from the mistakes. Like I was like, I'm a better trader right now than I was yesterday because of what I just went through. I need to go get more money and figure out how to do this because I know what not to do now. I'm not going to make that same mistake. It's only upwards from here. God just put this confidence inside me that I don't know where it came from. I stopped caring about what people thought of me. I stopped feeling like a failure, and I just started learning. I started learning as much as I could. I was paying my bills. We were getting out of this hole. We were getting out of this debt. And again, I want to say like it was just, everything was hunky-dory from there. There was a lot of rough roads ahead. There's a lot more for me to learn. And unfortunately, it cost me a lot of money to learn lessons. But I was learning and I was growing, and money was becoming easier for me to get out of the markets. And it started to change. I know that looking back on this now, it all makes sense of why God told me to do what I did and why it wasn't easy. And it's because I wouldn't have the skills or yet the story to be relatable to anyone that's trading or trying to learn how to trade without going through what I did. I dug myself into such a deep pit that I know a lot of people out there can relate to. And I got myself out of that pit, which not a whole lot of people can do. And because of that, anyone can come up to me and say, Tony, I just blew up a trading account. Tony, I just did this. And I say, I've been there. Let me show you what I did. Don't do this. You're going to be tempted to do this. You're going to be tempted to put all of this on one trade. You're going to be tempted to get out of the hole fast. You're going to be tempted to like erase that loss as fast as possible. Don't. It digs yourself deeper. Do this, right? Like I figured out the path to go forward. And because I did that, it has now not only blessed my life to be able to be a full-time trader, but I'm able to help thousands of people and have helped thousands of people along the way during these years inside real life trading to change their lives as well. I figured out the path forward to make a living in trading and to do it consistently. And if you guys want to check out those Week in the Life vlogs, I'm walking you through exactly how I do it from the same thing that I was doing then, I'm doing now. Check out those videos. But thousands of people's lives were changed. And I look back, I'm like, God, you are truly so good. Without going through that, I wouldn't know how to help anyone. I wouldn't have a passion to help anyone. I see how my life is so different now. It's really cool. Like I'm a product of real life trading. I own the company now, but I'm a product of it. When I was struggling, when I was going through that, I found real life trading on YouTube and was inspired by Jeremy Newsom. He's still my mentor to this day. I was like, open my eyes. I saw a YouTube video. I was like, this is better than the stuff I've paid for. And I started binging on it. And I joined real life trading community and I started growing. And from there, I met Jeremy in person and Jeremy heard my story. He's like, bro, I want you to come trade and be a moderator for real life trading. I want you to help others learn how to do this. And I started joining that team and started coaching and started showing people exactly what I've been doing over the last 4 or 5 years at the time, right? And everyone started getting crazy results. I mean, they were finally consistently making money through the stuff that I was doing because that's what I was doing. And that's how I was consistently making money. What's up, Pop? And everyone's life started to get changed. And I found that passion of like, I can make my own money and I can make a lot of money on my own. But the fulfillment in my life comes from waking up and helping someone along that road that I walked get to the finish line. Nearly every month I have someone message me and say, I'm a full-time trader now because of the stuff that I've gone through from your teachings in real life trading. And that is like, that's what I want to hear. My purpose and my mission has gone from financial freedom to I need to change the middle class. I want to help everyone to see how they can click a button and change their life. And it's not this like, here's an easy get rich quick. It's like, no, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to show you how to navigate the hard. I'm going to show you how to turn the hard into the easy. I'm going to show you what's going to take to be successful in trading. And this is what's changed everything. It's like God's purpose for me was so much bigger than just me having financial freedom. Like I get that. But his purpose was for me to also open that road for everyone else too, because I believe what this world needs are millions of people that have lots of money, that open up their free time so they don't have to spend their lives trying to earn a paycheck, that they can spend their time in their life with their family, with their friends, and pursuing their passions. That's what's going to make this world a better place. Are fantastic people that are giving and loving and caring, that have so much money they don't know what to do with, that they can then donate and help others along the way, and we can build this world into a better place. That's what I feel like this needs. That's what money has done for me. It's expounded my generosity. It's expounded what I'm able to do. And it's doing that for every single person that's walked along this path that I've been able to help. They've been able to go forward and pay it forward and help more people. And that's what the real life trading community is all about. I am a product of real life trading, and it's still mind blowing to me to this day that I own this company now, that I'm the owner of real life trading. I went from watching a YouTube video to now owning that company, and how great God is, and how that purpose and how the universe just brings things together beyond your imagination is crazy to me. My story is insane, but there's a reason behind it, and it all makes sense now. And I'm so grateful for my story. I used to be ashamed of it, but now I share it everywhere I can, because I want you all to know that there's hope. I want you all to know that I've been in the depths of despair. I've been embarrassed. I've been thinking like, I can't believe I made this mistake. I feel so dumb. I feel so whatever. Like, I've been there, and I can help you go, look, that's normal. And I can help you stand back up and succeed in trading. I can help you walk along that path and see that success. And so thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. Click the links down below. Check out our free courses. Come join our community and see the change that RLT is from every other community out there. See how we're different, how we show you the losses, how we show you the wins, and how to navigate the good and the bad, because that's what trading is. I love you guys. Thanks for taking time to listen to this. Keep going. Keep standing back up. If it's hard, that's okay, because you have a greater purpose than what your end goal is. And if you can stick in the game long enough, I promise you at some point in your life, you will see the end result of that. You'll see the reason why you went through what you went through. Money comes and money goes. You'll make it back extremely fast. It seems hopeless at the moment, but you'll make it back faster than you can ever imagine. Keep going. The only reason I'm here and someone else isn't is because I simply stood back up when I was at that point of quitting. When I was at the point of questioning God and questioning myself and questioning everything, I stood back up and just kept trusting when everyone else quits. That's the only reason I'm here. It's not because I'm smarter. It's not because of anything else or I'm lucky. No. I chose to stand up when there was no way forward. I chose to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and that's all you have to do. Come check us out at Real Life Trading. Keep going, my friends. Keep standing back up, and I promise you, you will get the end life and end results that you want.